Hello everyone, my name is Eisen and welcome to Haw Par Villa, a very unique and historical park in the southwest of Singapore. This month, April 2022, for the very first time in the world, we are bringing to Haw Par Villa the Solar New Year. What is the Solar New Year? We all know 1st January, the Universal New Year. The Chinese celebrate the Lunar New Year, which usually falls in January or February. Slightly later in mid-April, another New Year is observed by a host of communities across South Asia and Southeast Asia. This is the Solar New Year. The Solar New Year unites communities that use variants of a solar calendar that originated in the Indian subcontinent at least 3,500 years ago. At the time, Indian scholars studied both lunar and solar methods of keeping time for the timing of religious rituals. The first day of the solar year was tracked according to the transition of the sun from the Pisces to the Aries constellation, presently 13th or 14th April. This transition is called Mesha Sankranti. Mesha is Sanskrit for ram, the symbol for the constellation of Aries, while Sankranti means transit, to move or to step forward. When Buddhism arose in the Indian subcontinent around 2,500 years ago, it adopted a variant of the Hindu calendar. From around 2,000 years ago, over hundreds of years, Hinduism and Buddhism gradually spread from South Asia to Southeast Asia, leaving a deep impact on the region. This included the adoption of variants of Hindu and Buddhist calendars. And this is why the Solar New Year is observed during the same period throughout a large part of South and Southeast Asia today, usually between 13 and 16 April. Many of these New Year festivals are named after translations of Sankranti. For example, the Thai Songkran and the Cambodian Moha Sangkran. Or they are named after the first month on their calendars. For example, the Punjabi festival Vaisakhi is derived from Vaisak, the first month on the Punjabi calendar. Carnivals and parades are organized and there is plenty of feasting and merry-making. Farmers begin planting crops for a new growing season. For many, it is a time of change, leaving behind the old year and starting a new year afresh. Bringing the Solar New Year to Haw Par Villa is part of our plan to make the park a vibrant space for all communities. This is in keeping with the spirit of the Aw brothers of Tiger Balm fame, Aw Boon Haw and Aw Boon Par, who completed the construction of Haw Par Villa in 1937. They opened the park to the public to make it a community space. Likewise, our vision for Haw Par Villa is for it to be a space for all to enjoy, regardless of race or religion. Today, we are celebrating the Haw Par Villa Solar New Year, a world's first. Here in Haw Par Villa, for the very first time, we are bringing all these separate observations together in one place, calling it the Haw Par Villa Solar New Year. This morning, we will begin with the lighting of lamps for the New Year. This lighting signifies the triumph of light over darkness, good over evil. To usher in the Solar New Year, we have invited 4 priests and monks to give New Year's blessings. From the Sri Arasa Kesari Sivan Temple, we have Mr. Jagatiswaran Yana Kurukal. He will conduct a prayer to Surya, the sun deity, as the sun gives life to all. The prayer seeks blessings for the new year and calls for the removal of negative influences. Next, from the Wat Ananda Medyarama, we have Brahmaha Amnoi. He will give a blessing called Itipiso Bhagawa. The prayer commemorates Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha. You just heard from Dhyani Bikar Singh from the Katong Gurdwara. He gave an ardas to welcome the new year. Lastly, from the Burmese Buddhist temple, we have Siador Siridama. He will recite sutras for the Burmese New Year. The recitation is for peace and safety from harm.
Wadu Sabara.
Now, the Solar New Year is celebrated throughout South and Southeast Asia by different names. We are bringing them together here in Haw Par Villa for the very first time. Hence, we will have a ceremonial ringing of a bell, one ring of the bell for each New Year festival. Mesha Sankranti, Puthandu, the Tamil New Year. A popular activity during Vaisakhi, the Punjabi New Year, is Bhangra, a folk dance. The dance involves movements that reenact the farming process: ploughing, sowing, weeding, reaping, winnowing, and finally celebrating the harvest. Here today in the Culture Courtyard, we are delighted to have a Bhangra troupe called Joshili Bhangra, led by Simran, who will perform and even teach us the dance. From all of us at Haw Par Villa, we wish you a happy Solar New Year.